So Universal just announced that the Fast and the Furious coaster is replacing Rip Ride Rocket. What do they do in the days that follow? They tell us that Pokémon, yes, Pokémon is coming right here to Universal Orlando. But will it be coming here to Springfield at Universal Studios, or will it be coming here to the Lost Continent at Islands of Adventure? We're gonna talk about that, plus what we know of the expansion plans coming to Universal Epic Universe, their newest park that just opened last year in 2025, in today's video, so come along with me. So the release was predominantly about Japan, but there is a little blurb in here that says, following its debut in Japan, Universal Destinations and Experiences will deliver unique Pokémon experiences across the company's global footprint. Further details about the project will be announced at a later date. Mark Woodbury, the chairman and CEO of Universal Destinations and Experiences, says, quote, collaborating with imaginative and inventive storytellers fuels our ability to create and deliver mind-blowing attractions and experiences that shatter guest expectations. The Pokémon Company is one of the most beloved interactive franchises in the world, and through our ongoing partnership, we will continue bringing its vibrant world to life in new and innovative ways for years to come. This is absolutely massive. Pokémon is one of the most successful franchises of all time, revenue-wise. It's made more money than Star Wars. It's made more money than, I believe, Mario as well. So this is one of the most profitable and recognized franchises that a theme park can ever land the rights to. And Universal is not only bringing it to Japan, but they're going to be bringing it here to Universal Orlando, Universal Hollywood. In what capacity, we don't know just yet, but I have a feeling I know where it's gonna go. Now, there's been rumors going back at least a year that it might come over to Springfield at Universal Studios, but I think it's actually gonna be coming over to the Lost Continent inside of Islands of Adventure. And I think that for a couple of different reasons. It's fitting that I have a construction wall behind me as I'm talking about future projects, but the main reason why I think it's gonna be coming here to Lost Continent is because they are already getting the wheels moving on what's going to be replacing Poseidon's Fury and this entire land. And Universal always kind of plays things close to the chest when it comes to new experiences and new attractions, new lands that are coming to the park. And for them to have all this Lost Continent work going on, there's permits for demolition, there's going to be work starting here very, very soon. To time that up with the press release of Pokémon coming to the parks at some point, that's why I think it's going to be coming over here. Universal is very good with like only announcing things about a year out. Now, that doesn't mean Pokemon's going to be coming here in a year, but the fact that we already got some wheels in motion, permits are submitted, there's going to be demolition here very soon, and they just announced Pokemon's going to be coming to parks worldwide, I feel like it's a no-brainer that it's going to go right here. And that does line up with recent rumors over the past couple of months that have picked up a little bit of steam as far as Pokemon coming to the Lost Continent. It will be interesting to see what happens with Springfield because I believe the theme park rights, or just the rights in general to The Simpsons, expire not too far from now. So I wouldn't be surprised if those rights get flipped back to Disney and something new comes to Universal Studios in the place of Springfield. Regardless of where Pokemon goes, if it comes here to the Lost Continent, if it goes over to Universal Studios in Springfield, doesn't matter because this is a huge, huge step in the right direction as far as Universal's growth plans over the next few years. And this honestly is only going to ignite the theme park wars between Disney and Universal, which I love to see because as a consumer, we benefit from things like that. And if you just take a look at the history of what Universal has done with massive franchises, the first one that comes to the top of my head is Harry Potter and the Wizarding World. It completely revolutionized the Universal theme park experience. And to be honest with you, I don't think a park like Epic Universe exists down the road unless Universal landed those rights to the Wizarding World and Harry Potter all those years ago, because that has been the staple of the Universal Orlando Resort for years and years and years, still is, but now that you have other properties like Super Nintendo World and Mario, Donkey Kong and all that stuff over at Epic Universe, that's huge. Now, Pokemon, like, I don't think you guys realize how big this is for Universal and what this is going to mean for parks like Disney to try to answer this again. Pokémon is listed as the most profitable media franchise ever. Estimated lifetime revenue, $90 to $95 billion, because it spans not just video games. Of course, you had all the cards, you had the video games themselves, there's been TV series, movies, there's been so much Pokemon. And if you think about it, I'm 34 years old. I feel like Pokemon came out, I believe, in like the mid-90s, around like 96-ish. And so I was like 5 years old when Pokemon first debuted in 96. I kind of grew up with that initial wave of Pokemon. It's still big. Kids today still play Pokemon. So it's just one of those multi-generational things that when it does come here, it's not just gonna be for kids. You're gonna have people in their 30s and their 40s that grew up on Pokemon, like living out that nostalgia the same way you do over at Epic Universe with Super Nintendo World. Now, I'm not a big AI guy. I really don't use it all that much. However, in this case, I did pull it up on ChatGPT. I asked it a couple of questions about Pokemon, and just to put it in perspective, the size of this franchise and what this opportunity means for Universal Orlando, Star Wars has done about $45 billion worth of revenue. Pokemon has been estimated to do double that and then some. So just to put into perspective how popular Star Wars is and how it's like stood the test of time for like 40 plus years, $45 billion versus $90 billion is crazy. So we are talking massive opportunity, not just for revenue, but for attendance. The trickle-down effect of what Pokemon could bring to Universal is just insane. Universal did not give any time frames as to when any of this is coming. It is going to be in Japan first, then it's going to make its way over to the States. But if I had to guess, based on if I am right, and if it is coming here to the Lost Continent, I would estimate probably anywhere from 2 to 2.5 years from now, we could be looking at Pokemon over here at Islands of Adventure. So maybe sometime 2028, end of 2028, maybe 2029, probably at the latest. But Universal is not known for kind of dragging their feet on their construction projects. They move pretty quickly. So my guess would be sometime in 2028, which is not that far away. Now, being a theme park purist and a massively loyal Universal fan, I have to call them out for one thing. If it does come here to the Lost Continent, if you're not familiar with the backstory of Islands of Adventure and the origins of it, first of all, I have a whole video on that I did when they were celebrating their 25th anniversary. I'll leave it up in the corner if you want to check it out. But Islands of Adventure was originally conceptualized based on books and literature. So if you look around all the different lands, they all have some sort of a tie to books. Now, you might be wondering, what does the Lost Continent have to do with books? It's based on like Greek mythology and some of those early texts. So that's kind of a stretch if we're comparing it to some of the other things. But like Marvel Superhero Island, comic books. Wizarding World of Harry Potter, obviously books, one of the biggest book franchises of all time. Jurassic Park was a book before it became a movie. Toon Lagoon is comic books. Now, Pokemon started as video games, and they have had books and they have had literature that has to do with Pokemon, but to say like Pokemon has anything to do with books really is very much a stretch. But honestly, it's okay. This park is in need of a massive refresh in that sense. There's other parts of this park that I think should be next on the chopping block, including Toon Lagoon. But if you're a theme park purist, you might be saying, what does Pokemon have to do with the original concept of Islands of Adventure? You would be right, but I could probably let that slide if it does come here, because it would just be incredible. All that Pokemon talk is super exciting, but like I said, we're probably at least 2 years away from seeing any of that over here in the States, maybe even 3. But to be honest with you, there's a chance that that might open not long after like some of the stuff that Disney is doing. And that's why I said like the theme park wars are heating up, because Disney is still in some ways, not necessarily like attendance or revenue or anything like that, but from a attraction standpoint, from a creativity standpoint, is still catching up to what Universal's doing. Because as they are answering Epic Universe with things like Villains Land and the Cars Land and some of the stuff that they're doing over in the parks, the stuff that's coming to Hollywood Studios. Once that stuff opens, Universal is going to be on to the next, and we're going to have Pokemon coming here to the parks. We're going to be having expansions to Epic Universe. It's going to be crazy, and it's great for people like you and me that are watching this video, because if you're watching this, good chance you're a really big theme park fan, and as am I, and we're the ones that win at the end of the day. So there's a lot of like tribalism in the theme park community with like, oh, you know, Disney versus Universal, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, if you have both companies at the height of their game, we're the ones that win, because they're just going to keep pushing each other, and that's what I want to see. But speaking of Epic Universe, they are already moving and grooving as far as expansions go, and the first major expansion to the theme park is coming over to Harry Potter Ministry of Magic. All signs are pointing towards a brand new attraction, but there's some other things that are going on at the park as well, as far as permits and some aerial shots we've seen recently from BioReconstruct. So let's take a look at what could be coming to Epic Universe in the near future. So the most significant permit activity is for a large site permit filed with Orange County for 150,000 square feet of new construction. The location for this is Area P905, which corresponds with the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. So all signs are pointing towards a second attraction coming to this land. What makes me think that? The size of the building, 150,000 square feet, is in line with the average show building, and based on the amount of space this is going to take up, it certainly looks like they're paving the way for a second attraction, which in my opinion, the land desperately needs. Now, this isn't confirmed by any means, it's just speculation, but there are rumors that this might be an attraction that features the ability to fly on a broomstick, which would be very cool. Another piece of recent news is that Universal filed a trademark application for a name and a logo, which may end up becoming the name of the new nighttime show. Universal Celestial Goodnight was filed with the US Patent and Trademark Office, and the thing that is interesting about a nighttime show is generally includes fireworks. However, there really haven't been fireworks on a regular basis at Epic Universe. They used them for the grand opening when they had the media event. They used them on New Year's Eve, but other than that, no sign of fireworks at Epic until now. Thanks to these photos from BioReconstruct, we can see a possible launch pad being constructed at Epic Universe behind the Helios Grand Hotel. They're already digging out trenches, possibly to run electrical, and it kind of does look like a fireworks launch pad. I'm no pyro expert, but if I had to guess, that's what I would bet this is for. However, we have no idea if fireworks will become a staple at Epic Universe every single night, or if they'll just continue to be used on special occasions now with a more designated launch site. All right, I know that was a lot of info. There was a lot of speculation, things to talk about there, but now we're gonna head over to Universal Studios Florida, because I believe the Mardi Gras preparation has already started. Some of the food booths have popped up, so we'll go around the park and see what we could see for Mardi Gras, which starts next week. And so we're inside of Universal Studios now, and it looks like they're already starting to prep for Mardi Gras. No menus out on any of the food booths just yet. Looks like this one is going to be the NOLA Bayou. We'll see. We're probably about a week or so away, maybe a little less than that, from getting menus. I always love how like Universal does their food booths. They're always so well done. Look at this. They have this giant gator. He's eating the food booth. That's really cool. I'm looking forward to Universal dropping those menus, whether they do it online or they just put them up on the little signs by the food booths in the park, because last year's Mardi Gras food was very, very good. So I know there's gonna be like some returning things that come back again, but if it's anything like last year, we're in for a really good food festival. Oh yeah, they are working as we speak on Fast and the Furious Hollywood Drift. The day that they made this announcement, we came out to the park, but they didn't have this mural on this wall just yet. It was just a plain black wall. Now they got the official attraction name. New roller coaster coming 2027. You got the car right there. They still have all like the little posters on that wall like we showed you, but yeah, just behind this wall, they are working. It might not come across on video, but I hear some noise going on. This guy must be freezing. By the way, this guy's been here for years. Like since I was a kid, this guy's been doing this. So in its usual spot, we have another food booth over in San Francisco, directly across from the exit to Fast and the Furious. Looks like this one's gonna be Austria. And there's a look at the front of it. Theming's really, really cool. You can see they even have like the details down into the woodwork. You got all the Mardi Gras colors. Super cool. For HHN, for Mardi Gras, I always am amazed by these because these are just temporary things. And then they take it all down and make it something new for the next season. So it looks like we're gonna have a food booth over here on the bridge. This one's gonna be Chile. Again, no menus just yet. Those are gonna be coming in the next couple of days. And then on the other side, they're gonna have a little Bloody Mary booth. These little tiny Bloody Mary booths, you can find them in a few different places around the park. This isn't gonna be the only spot. I'm not gonna lie, seeing all of the different food booths and kind of walking around and like showing them off reminds me of like our HHN prep videos that we do as it, you know, rolls into the summer and whatnot. And I have to keep telling myself we are months away from that. If you guys are new, we love HHN. We're massive HHN fans, so we do a lot of updates and things like that. But just seeing all the food booths around reminded me of like going to find all the HHN updates. Only a few months away. Back over here by Animal Actors, the construction walls are down, and we could see the new little food court, or food cart, I should say, that's over here. It's called Parkside Fare. Let's take a look at the menu and see if there's anything out of the ordinary. Looks like standard theme park snacks. They have a turkey leg, a pretzel, popcorn buckets, chips, sodas. They do have another freestyle machine over here. Then it looks like they have a little shaded area, I guess, for the line, or if you wanna eat your food over here. But it looks good. I like the new LED menu boards too. Wait a minute, this isn't the Cat Lady of Crooked Lane. This is the Brazil food booth. And that's gonna do it for this video. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. What do you think about Pokemon coming to the Universal Orlando Resort? Do you think it's gonna go over at the Lost Continent like I do, or do you think there's a chance it comes over to Simpsons? Either way, this is gonna be huge for Universal, like I said, but let me know what you guys think of the recent news down in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a nice big thumbs up. If you're new to the channel and you enjoyed the content, make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on all of our future videos to come. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys real soon.